Hey, what's up? I made it to CES 2024 and there is so much amazing tech that I can't wait to show you. We have a lot to see, so sit back, relax, and let's check it out. This TV is one of the craziest things I've ever seen from 9 years at CES. Not only is it casually 137 inches, but it can also fold into itself and look like furniture. It's mind-blowing to watch it fold and unfold. Oh, and watch this. When it unfolds fully, the seams completely disappear. Seriously, I can't see anything even up close. That's because the company measures any small gap at the seams and turns up the brightness of nearby LEDs to hide it. But it's a whopping $200,000. And if you're wondering who on earth would spend that, well, their main use case was to put it on your yacht, obviously. CES 2024 was all about AI, and while some was a gimmick, Samsung's new AI Family Hub Plus seems useful. Like the previous version, the fridge has a camera built in, open the doors with a simple tap, and the camera will track what you're putting in or taking out. But Samsung improved the AI. It can use images to plan personalized recipes and even alert you of what food is expiring. That's impressive, but what's shocking is how fast it was. It immediately recognized foods and the software seemed way better. Right now it can only recognize 33 foods, so maybe it's just a step above Is It Hot Dog app. Roborock is making cleaning completely hands-off for humans. The clean and dirty water tanks are fully automated now. Finally! Their new S8 MaxV Ultra has a smaller dock that connects to your water line so it refills and drains itself. How crazy is that? And I like that it's smaller since it doesn't need two big water tanks. It also has a flexi-arm side brush that reaches out and sweeps up any crumbs along the corner. The Q-Revo MaxV has a similar flexi-arm, except it's for mopping the edges. Oh, and both of these have hot water mopping, their own voice assistant, and obstacle avoidance using a camera. And I'm happy the camera's back. Instead of e-ink color changing cars like we've seen at CES before, we have e-ink color changing toilets? Kohler's at it again. Why would anyone need this? Now, their RGB toilet, that I could see myself making interesting automations with. Of course, Kohler showed off their advanced, super expensive shower head configurations, but they announced a shower accessory I might actually be able to get. The Spa Viva hand shower. You can swap out different attachments like a scrubber or a massager that uses a rechargeable battery. This looks way more useful compared to an e-ink toilet, that's for sure. I've always wanted some kind of car that's not only electric, but it can charge itself. And this thing has solar panels on top, so it can do that. This is from the Netherlands, and it's called the Squad. They're calling it a solar buggy, and it kind of reminds me of a golf cart. It can go up to 40 miles an hour, and it has plenty of range between the swappable batteries and solar panel. This one is for 2 people, but later they want to produce a version for 4 people or cargo. You can pre-order the solar buggy now, and I was pleasantly surprised that it starts at just over $6,000. I'm just gonna say it, I want this thing. This looks like a regular grill, but it's actually 100% electric. It doesn't use gas, charcoal, or pellets. And what's surprising is how hot it gets. The grill heats up to 700 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can see they were searing the meat perfectly on the very hot grill. I would have never known it was electric. There's also an app where you can control the temperature or shut the grill off, but I just love the look of it. It's so modern, and it's backed by the parent company of Charbroil, so you know it's solid. Okay, I'll admit, this thing looks ridiculous. Some might even say it looks like a diaper on the guy's face, but it surprised me, and here's why. You know when you're in public and someone's having a loud phone conversation? Skyted threw a muzzle on that person. The device creates a small sound bubble and muffles voices up to 80%. See how quiet he is in the clip?
So I can hear him right now. I mean, you probably can't hear him right now.
So crazy. I could actually see this being useful if you want to have a confidential call in public, as long as you don't care what you look like while you're wearing it. We've seen fingerprint locks, but face locks? Now that's something new. Lockly released the first door lock with facial recognition, so you can just walk up to the door and it will just unlock, or deny you if your face isn't registered. The lock works with the major smart home platforms, though it's still working out official Matter certification. They also launched Matter Link, which helps their existing locks work with Matter too. This is a cool solution. I hope other smart home companies take note. The other unique smart lock is from Philips, who lets you unlock your door with your palm. There's also a sensor that can see when you're reaching for the door handle inside that will automatically unlock the door so you don't have to turn the deadbolt. Nice! This is another product I want. These sunglasses change the tint automatically using a hidden light sensor or with a quick press from your finger. But I really want their new prescription version called DuskRx. I mean, not this style, but that's all they had charged up. Anyways, these are actually the first prescription glasses that adjust the tint electronically. I have prescription sunglasses, but if it gets cloudy or if you enter a parking garage, I have to switch to regular glasses, and I would love to have these automatically adjust all day. They also have open ear audio and a rechargeable battery that wirelessly charges. It wouldn't be CES without lots of TVs, but there was one type that stole the show: transparent TVs. Something no one asked for, but Samsung and LG are making them anyways. Samsung showed off a transparent micro LED that looked incredible, very bright and extremely transparent, but they had another LED display behind it, so it made it difficult to see and capture on camera. Then it broke. Whoops. LG's main display was their LG OLED T TV. I feel like I'm just saying a bunch of letters there. Anyways, this is not a concept, but something people can actually buy. And why would you want a transparent TV? That's the question I heard about 50 people say at the booth. Well, when you're not watching something, it looks nicer as it blends into your room or displaying art. Then when you're watching a show, a solid background slides up so you can see the screen like a normal TV. Okay, that's sweet. When it comes to sound, the XEO Pod completely blew me away. There's 20 speakers packed into this chair, and there's also sensors in the chair to adjust the sound depending on where you're sitting, and wow, the sound was incredible. What's crazy is between all the sound dampening materials inside and how close the speakers are to you, it's really loud inside, but you can barely hear it when you're standing next to it. I would love this in my house to blast a movie and not wake up my kids at night. Next up is XGIMI, today's sponsor, and they have an amazing booth at CES. Check this out. This projector is on a motorized gimbal. This is the new Horizon Max, and it has a very retro look to it. I like it. With ISA 5.0, the motorized gimbal is fully automated, so it finds the perfect spot on the wall, and it can also rotate to another wall and remember the different settings for each. Maybe you want to work out on one side of the room and watch a movie on the other. No problem. It also has Dual Light 2.0, which means 2 different light sources. Look how much brighter it is next to a single light source projector that costs way more. Plus the colors are more vibrant and the quality is so good that the Horizon Max is IMAX Enhanced certified, which is crazy because the projector is under $3,000 and normally it costs way more for an IMAX Enhanced certified projector. But it gets even crazier. This is the Aladdin 2.0 and it looks like a nice lamp, right? Wrong. It's also a projector too. This would be perfect for a bedroom. Plus it has built-in speakers with 360-degree sound. I mean, how awesome is that? Thanks to XGIMI for supporting the channel. If you've always wanted to control a computer in the air like Tom Cruise in Minority Report, you need to see this. This company called NeuroLab developed software for air gestures, and there are 2 interesting things about this. First, it was really responsive, so whether we tested it for video games, ordering food, or doctor's offices, it recognized our gestures quickly. I've tried this tech before and some crazy gloves on the CES show floor this year, but this was my favorite option. The other exciting thing is the software works with any camera, even your webcam. I hope this means more gesture controls in the smart home someday. You know, we've seen some, but I want more. This is the Pebble Flow, a smart, fully electric RV. And when I say smart, I mean really smart. Like you tap on the app and it senses, self-positions, and hitches onto your car all by itself. What? We toured the inside and it's definitely nice. Check out this privacy feature on the shower. Very awesome and yeah, necessary on family vacations. So you control everything in the app, and I like all the LED lights they had in here, plus the dashboard they had mounted. You know, I'm a sucker for a smart trailer dashboard. And like I said, it's electric with a 45 kilowatt hour battery and a 1 kilowatt hour solar panel on top for off-grid living. Samsung's booth is always an adventure, but I was shocked at how big the SmartThings section was compared to years past. And there were some new features for SmartThings. Finally! First is this interesting map view where you can add your home's floor plan to create a 3D layout. Then you can easily see all of your smart home devices at a glance. I also like their new QR code for guests or kids. You can pick what devices to share and then you can just scan the QR code and have access to those as long as you choose. Oh, and later this year, SmartThings Energy will be the first to integrate with Tesla's API. So things like Powerwall data and charging your Tesla EVs will be accessible in SmartThings. Samsung also had a new version of their Buggy robot wheeling around to control your smart home using, you guessed it, AI. It's funny that LG ripped off Samsung and had their own knockoff Buggy wheeling around too. I guess the future of having AI robots buzzing around the house is here, like it or not. Almost every company at CES claimed to have AI. AI in a mattress? Well, the mattress adjusts in real time to form to your body. It was comfortable, but I don't know how I feel about AI feeling my body in bed. That's too far. LaPro Lighting claims to use AI to change your lights depending on how you feel. Use the app to scan your face, and if you're happy, the lights are bright, and if you're sad, the lights try to match your mood. Yeah, no comment. But this AI companion takes the cake for weird AI. With the built-in ChatGPT, you can interact with it like you used to talk with other humans. It's like we live in one big Black Mirror episode now.
There's no need to be afraid of AI.
Govee, of course, is jumping on that AI train too, but has some good implementation of it. Speak to the AI in the app and it can change your lights to match your favorite sports team color or whatever you want. This is coming to existing Govee lights and will save a lot of time instead of manually setting all the colors. Govee also updated almost every lighting device they had and it felt like hundreds in their booth. Like this floor lamp already had a big RGB light on it, but they were like, hey, let's add another RGB light to the bottom. But there were some really cool looking lights with designs I had never seen before. CES is always packed with amazing concept cars that may never come to life. But the Sony Afeela electric car will actually be available next year with pre-orders starting this year. And I got a chance to sit in it and wow, the screens are so intense in here. You can pick different themes, you can move your movie from the middle to the passenger side so it's not distracting while driving, PlayStation controller to play games because of course it can. The only problem I can see with this car, I don't know how I'd ever bring myself to get out of it and go into my house. There was also the Honda Space Hub that looked ridiculous, and a high-tech $45,000 electric motorcycle with 6 cameras and a futuristic hubless rear wheel. So sick looking. Hisense had a heads-up display hologram to show the car's speed and turn-by-turn directions. It has higher color performance, making it easier to see and safer to drive. And finally, Jackery was showing off their solar tent on a truck. It's massive with the 1000-watt solar panels fully extended, and this takes camping to a whole new level. If a smart doggy door would make your life easier, this is the best option I've seen so far. Pawport is a motorized pet door that opens and closes when your dog's tag is nearby, so it only opens when your pet approaches for more security. We've seen smart pet doors at CES before, but none quite like this. That's because it uses your existing pet door and installs as a retrofit solution. This makes it way less of a hassle to install than other options and more affordable. And what happens if the door closes on your pet? Well, I put my arm in to find out, and it doesn't hurt. Robot lawnmowers are becoming more popular, but Yarbo really stood out because of its modular design. There's a lawn cutting attachment, one to blow your leaves, and even a snowblower attachment. The cameras heat up so they don't get covered in ice. That way they can avoid people and objects. Glad they thought of that. And it's packed with features like being able to blow the snow in a certain corner so it's not just making a mess everywhere. It can also cut grass up to 4 inches, which is impressive for a robot lawnmower. Aqara had tons of new smart home features and concepts to show off this year. The main thing was their M3 hub that works with Matter and integrates with other smart home platforms. But what I really liked is how reliable it will be. You don't need to rely on the cloud since it runs locally. Plus, if you pair it with another M3 hub, automatic backups are made so you won't lose anything if one of the hubs fail. They also showed a concept voice assistant device that I really liked. Instead of a microphone always listening, it only starts listening when you pick it up for more privacy. They had a lot more at their booth that I'm covering in another video. Sometimes you come across a real invention at CES, and Sevvy is one of them. We tried some blueberry cakes baked with this, and not only were they moist, but they only took 2 minutes to bake. Seems impossible, so how does it work? Well, it's an entirely new way of cooking. It's called integral heating, and it's kind of like sous vide. It sends electrical currents through the food so it can cook quickly at a low temperature. It's basically an improved microwave since it simultaneously delivers the same amount of heat throughout all the food for a very even cook to keep it moist. Pretty impressive, but only time will tell if this becomes anything. It wouldn't be CES without robots everywhere you look. Some are cute and will probably replace your pet. Can you imagine asking your neighbor what breed their pet is and they respond with, "It's a mix of Intel with a little Apple Silicon." There was a robotic street cleaner driving around, robot hotel concierge from LG, an electric autonomous excavator that looks like it's straight from a Star Wars movie. Then there was this robot making and serving drinks from Rich Tech Robotics. It was really fast and precise at making drinks. Like it used the ice maker and everything. I kept waiting for it to mess up, but it didn't. Seriously, it's mind-blowing watching this thing in action. Deucen also had a robotic bartender, but this one had a few mess-ups, which required some human help, so maybe robots aren't ready to fully take over just yet. But if you want a machine to make you cocktails at home right now, the new Barsys 360 can help you out. You can use the app to pick a drink and it will mix everything together and light up when it's done. And for setup, you just pour the ingredients in separate stations, and then you can see how much is left of each one in the app. It's a fun device that isn't going to cost as much as a full-on robot bartender in your house. I had a blast at CES this year, and the tech keeps getting crazier.